Hello, you are now tuned into Spy Files 555. Welcome. Today I want to talk about finding peace within the chaos. I had this realization, I want to say, when I realized that life is going to do its thing, regardless of whether or not I am in a calm situation or a chaotic one. And with reading the book The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle says that we should strive for peace instead of happiness because happiness has a condition in order for it to happen, but peace should be within us regardless of what happens. And so that brought me to the conclusion that instead of being reactive or riled up with everything that happens when it happens, I could just be at peace within myself and find a way to get through a situation. I feel like peace comes from a place of knowing that life challenges, the good are going to happen regardless of whether or not we just want good things at our own time. And basically, life is filled with a lot of uncertainty, but we have to firstly accept that, acknowledge that, and operate from a place where we will try our utmost best to move through a situation, learn from a situation, and allow life to be. I've been holding on for a while now to the idea of what I want, of how I want my life to go, but I didn't stop to ask, is all of this in alignment with me? Am I moving from a place where an idea was put into my head and now I am trying to outlive this programming that was put in me in the first place? And one example is as a kid growing up, my grandmother would say, you should be a doctor, right? And I hung on to that because I always thought that she was the truth as a kid because I spent most of my life with her. And then when I realized that I couldn't be a doctor, I was like, okay, what's the next best thing to that? I was like, nursing. And so in my head, I never allowed myself to explore things that I genuinely had an interest in. And looking back, and as I speak this, I'm realizing that, damn, I held myself back. But regardless of that, um, what that brought was a level of chaos because I was not operating in a place of accepting that life can be chaotic because when things didn't go my way, I interpreted that as chaos. But it wasn't. It was just a matter of redirection, I want to say, because now I'm about to move in a different path and I have come a long way to a point where I am learning to find my peace, or rather to be within my peace, so that I can move through the chaos regardless of what is happening. When we find peace through the chaos, we are saying that, okay, this is what's happening. It's not to say that you have to accept a shitty situation, but it is to say that you don't have to be like reactive or you can be angry. I mean, you can feel any emotion that you want, but the point is not to stew in those feelings and let them control how you react. Instead, you can feel those feelings and find a way to move through whatever is going or through whatever is happening in a way that is more peaceful to you, in a way that doesn't disturb your peace. Finding peace within the chaos has pushed me to be an observer. I observe what is going on, and usually, when you observe what is going on, you notice every detail, a detail that can pull you out of the mindset that things aren't going my way. You know, it removes the control and fear aspect of, since things aren't going my way, that means this is bad. But it doesn't necessarily have to mean that. It can just mean that you are being redirected into something that was way better than what you had initially imagined. What I also noticed is that life's chaos can really shake the ego. Like, because I identified with one vision for so long and my ego attached itself for that to that for so long, by the time I was being redirected to something else, my ego was like, now who am I? Now who am I? Like, my ego, there was a period where I had nothing to attach myself to, and that was an ego death. And I'm so grateful that that happened, because when we are always acting within our ego, that can get to like really crazy levels of control, you know, and fear. And I had this fear that, well, who am I now? And I don't know, I just came to the conclusion that, you know what, I fully surrender. At this moment, I am nothing, and that is okay. I am just an organism that is breathing. And as I moved from that, then I started seeing other things that I can consider and step into for a career. And now I'm excited again for something new, a new journey. Um, but also at the same time, I'm like, even if things don't go the way that I'm imagining them now, I'm like, that's okay, because no matter what happens, I can't lose. Like, now I'm at a place where I have nothing to lose. So I'm like, what's meant to happen will happen. I am right where I'm meant to be. I feel like chaos has been perceived as this thing to like rattle us and mess things up, have things confused, have us, you know, everywhere and nowhere. But really, the chaos is meant to show our strength and our resilience. I'm not saying that people deserve bad experiences, but I cannot guarantee, nobody can guarantee that bad experiences won't happen, but it is how we get through them and find ourselves on the other side of everything that we have proven to be winners. We have proven to be resilient. And I like the word resilience because it's like how a diamond is shaped, or that's the imagery I get in my head, you know, how a diamond is shaped under pressure. I feel like the word strong has been like so overplayed that I kind of hate it. And it's honestly not that deep, it's just the word. But regardless of that, we come out resilient, and that's what I found is most beautiful about the human experience, the ability to go through something that you might think will end you, but it doesn't. You just come back with more power from it. you just come out more powerful because it's like going to the gym, Loki. Like you're exercising that muscle, you're working it out, you're pushing through everything, you're pushing through the pain, the fear, and that's beautiful. I think this is why I like to also watch people go through life. Um, that's why sometimes, even though I don't watch movies too much, that's why I prefer um like visual media because it shows the human experience in ways that you cannot fathom when you're just like looking at someone and y'all are just passing each other. But it shows the struggle, how you went from point A to point B. It shows the whole process. I enjoy the process of things more than the outcome, especially when the process molds the outcome to be this beautiful thing in the end. So, um, I think that we should embrace our chaos. We should embrace our mess and let life be. I don't know what it is, but when I surrendered, when I surrendered and decided to let go of control, decided to let go of fear, I have less stress, less anxiety, less sadness, and I feel like that has moved me from the scarcity mindset that, things are not going to work out or this or that. It has removed me from that pessimistic mindset and I've come a long way. And it's crazy how all of this is happening in a span of a year. I've lived 19 years of my life in survival mode, replaying traumas, anxiety, sadness I could not explain. And in a year, I was able to unfold and uncover that. But at the same time, I feel like there's still more of work that I have to do because I still have to be in community with people for like extended periods of time in order for me to learn more about myself and the world around me. So I feel like life is an ongoing lesson, a lesson that we can all learn from. Everything around us is a lesson if you observe and you take the time to really think about how people behave and how something came to be. We can always learn from these life experiences. And so, yeah, I hope that you find the peace within your chaos. I hope and pray that God is with you to give you strength and protection through whatever you're going through because life can be hard, but you still deserve the best regardless. And I hope that you do find that. Yeah, that's it from me. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.